This video was made by Chris Americos. Hey guys, Chris Americos here with another video for you. Today we're talking about passive voice. Passive voice. Now when we talk about passive voice, probably the first thing we should do is differentiate the passive voice from the active voice. Passive or active? Active voice is when we use typical sentence structure, which consists of subject, verb, object. In passive voice, sentence structure is usually the following: object, verb, subject. Let me explain. Now, why do we use passive voice? Well, there are three reasons. The first reason we use passive voice is to focus on the object of the sentence. The Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. In this sentence, Mona Lisa is the most important aspect of the sentence, and we want to focus on the Mona Lisa. And it's not so important who painted it. If we say Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa, this would be active voice. And the focus of the sentence is on the subject, Leonardo da Vinci. The second reason that we use passive voice is when we don't know who the subject is or what the subject is. For example, the bank was robbed. We don't know who robbed the bank, so we use passive voice. And the third reason we use passive voice is that we don't want to say who or what the subject is, or the subject just isn't important. For example, I was born in 1986. In this sentence, it's not important who my mother was because I'm saying something about me, the object of the sentence. The passive voice is formed by using the verb to be plus the third form of another verb. The third form of a verb is also known as the past participle of the verb. For example, this house was built by my father. So when we want to form the passive in English, there are three steps that we should take to change the active voice to the passive voice. First of all, we need to put the object at the beginning of the sentence. Second of all, we need to change the tense of the verb to be to the same tense as the verb in the active voice. And the third step is we need to change the verb from the active voice to the third form, or the past participle. So let's look at some examples where we change active voice to passive voice. Example number one. The builders are building the building. In this example, the builders is the subject. To build is the verb. And in this example, it's in the present continuous tense. Are building. And the object is the building. So, step number one, put the object at the beginning, the building. Step number two, change the verb to be to the tense of the verb in the active voice. As we said, the tense of the verb in the active voice is present continuous. So, we need to change the verb to be to present continuous. Is being. So, the building is being. Step three, we need to change the verb from the active voice to the third form. So, built. And we have our passive voice sentence. The building is being built. Now, if we want to say who did the action, if we want to say the subject in the passive voice, we need to add it at the end of the sentence, and before we say the subject, we need to add the word by. So, the building is being built by the builders. Let's look at another example where we use present perfect. In the active voice, we can say, many people have watched this video. To change it to the passive voice, we need to use our three steps again. First step, this video. Second step, has been. Third step, watched. This video has been watched. And if we want to add the subject at the end, this video has been watched by many people. How about another example? In active voice, the police caught the criminals. Here, our verb is in the past simple. In the passive voice, the criminals were caught. Or we can say, the criminals were caught by the police. And another example, this time we'll use future. Many people will celebrate New Year's. In passive voice, New Year's will be celebrated by many people. Thanks for watching English with Chris Americos. Make sure to like, subscribe, and write a comment. I'll see you in the next video. Chris Americos.